The Singapore Toys, Games and Comics Convention, more commonly known as STGCC, marks its 10th anniversary this year. With an illustrious lineup of guests featuring comic artists, voice actors, and international cosplay celebrities, STGCC draws in masses from all around the region, amounting to more than 45,000 people. Singapore's local cosplay community makes up a significant and striking portion of STGCC's attendees. For a country that takes pride in efficiency and practicality, cosplay may seem out of place as a hobby. So, what is it about the colourful wigs and elaborate costumes that these local youth find relevant to their lifestyles?
I really like personifying the character and also like taking time to cosplay with your friends, take pictures, and also it's like a vanity thing. You kind of look like quite good in makeup and in cosplay. Photographer comes around, we'll pose for the photo. Then sometimes we walk around the convention hall, see if there's anything nice to see or buy. Then that's about it. Yeah. My family, they're pretty okay with it. My mom's like, as long as you don't spend too much money, you have money to eat, like I'm fine with it. And then it's like a novelty thing to the rest of my family members, like, oh, I have a relative that cosplays, that kind of thing. Yeah.
As such conventions are seeing an increase in popularity, organising companies are also facing an increasing number of issues.
So basically, the number one concern is always how to handle the crowds. So from ticketing to queuing to getting inside the venue and then participating in all of the exhibitions and on-stage performances. So it's all basically just queue management. That's our biggest concern always. I wasn't part of the organization back then, but I believe a few years ago there was a young lady in a somewhat revealing costume who was reported by a member of the public to the police for being basically for self-exposure, I believe the accusation was. But it was actually kind of an international incident. A few of the neighboring countries, anime and cosplay fans have heard about it. But when the costume in question was shown via photos on the internet, it actually wasn't that revealing at all. It was probably just culture clash, like maybe the member of the public was somewhat older, more conservative, didn't really understand that this was a costume, not like a normal everyday wear for these young cosplayers.
Despite conflicts with social conservatism in Singapore, the cosplay community has continued to flourish. So, what is it about cosplay conventions that bring people together? Cosplayers in Singapore come from diverse walks of life. Despite whatever differences they may have in language, ideology, or upbringing, cosplayers come together at conventions, enjoy the appreciation of their respective fandoms.
Cosplay is a little bit of an uncomfortable fit in Singapore because the society is a bit more conservative in certain ways than in Japan, and especially because cosplay in Japan often involves cross-dressing. So sometimes it can hit up against social norms in Singapore. There's definitely a carnivalesque atmosphere in the convention space. From when people are attending this event, it feels like the normal social rules are suspended for the few hours that they're there. And that's especially true for the cosplayers who are inhabiting a fictional character, where they have the freedom to act out according to the fictional character that they're playing. So the genba is a Japanese term that means the place where things happen. And it's often used to mean like the scene of an accident or the scene of a crime, but it can also mean a space where social interactions are occurring in a positive sense. So in a sense, the convention space is also a kind of genba. It's where the producers and the fans are interacting to create a new kind of social energy. Well, the fans exist already. There are lots of fans of manga and anime who see it on television or who are encountering it on the internet. And the conventions give them a chance to interact in person so that it's not just a solitary activity. It gives them a sense of community and a sense of excitement of making the fandom real or, an actual physical experience.
Despite their growing visibility, the average Singaporean may not be familiar with the cosplay subculture. For cosplayers and the rest of society to coexist in a public space without any sense of unease or hostility, Some mediation may still be required, but with increasing interaction, cosplay may come to be a commonplace sight in the streets of Singapore in the future.
This once, people started screaming random words at us, even though we were not in that particular series, so they started shouting like Naruto, One Piece, and we were in casual clothing. Because we're in a public space, we can't stop people from randomly walking by with their phones and doing this. So I would think that it's basic courtesy to actually come up and ask, can I take a photo? And just understand that everybody is a person, everybody's a human, we have needs, we have to do things. If they're not ready, come back later. So I generally hope that in future people will be more polite and come out and ask for a photo.